are you still awake? If you are, let's chat for a bit.
Sarah, do you have any idea what time it is? It's already 1 a.m. I've got work tomorrow. I don't have time for you.
Just a quick chat, okay? It's been a while. You were still up, weren't you?
I was just about to hit the sack.
Got it. You were about to hit the hay alone, huh? Because I snagged your elite high-income husband. Whoops. You went from being the wife of a wealthy man to just a broke single woman. That's gotta sting more than just getting dumped, right? And on top of that, the one who took him was your own sister. Life can be quite the kicker, can't it?
Yeah, I was completely blindsided when Josh suddenly asked for a divorce. I had no clue that my husband was cheating on me with my own sister.
It's been 6 months since I snatched Josh away from you. And guess what? He's still head over heels for me. He claims he's happier than ever with me by his side. I suppose it's a good thing to be beautiful, isn't it? Even though we're sisters. Poor Melody, he got the short end of the genetic stick. With that face, it's probably impossible for you to get remarried.
Did you text me just to mess with me?
Kind of. I couldn't sleep and thought it would be entertaining.
Would you mind not reaching out to me just to kill time? Unlike you, I'm busy every day. And besides, I couldn't care less about my ex-husband Josh or you. There's no point in messing with me.
Huh?
I'm sleepy, so I'm heading to bed. You should hit the hay too, you know. For the sake of your beauty.
Hey!
Well, good night.
Hold on.
What?
Aren't you dying to know why I can't sleep?
Not interested.
Josh and I are jetting off on an overseas trip tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
I'm buzzing with excitement. That's why I can't sleep. I can't even nod off at this hour.
Wishing you a safe trip.
Hey, aren't you jealous?
Not really.
Ugh, cut the act. Josh and I are taking an extended vacation. We're off to Europe for 3 weeks. Well, I doubt you'll ever get the chance to travel abroad. I'll bring you back some souvenirs, so keep your eyes peeled.
Thanks a million. Can I hit the hay now?
Hold on a sec.
What? Can't you boast some other time?
Boast? No. I have a question.
What?
Where do you live now?
Why do you ask?
Don't tell me you're in some rundown shared house.
Huh?
I think it was right after Josh and I got married. A friend of mine saw you coming and going from a shared house. Well, what can I say? You were a housewife all your life, and then your rich husband left you. You can't exactly afford your own place now, can you? How's it going? Have you gotten used to living in a shared house? What kind of people do you live with? If it were me, I wouldn't be able to live in the same room with a complete stranger.
I don't live in a share house.
Huh?
The room I'm in now is spacious and has a nice view from the window. It's very comfortable.
You're kidding. I'm sure it's spacious if it's a shared house, but living with other people 24 hours a day can't be comfortable.
I told you, I don't live in a shared house.
Then you live in a shabby apartment with very cheap rent?
I live in a penthouse with $10,000 rent.
$10,000 in rent? Ugh, stop kidding. Do you even understand the numbers?
I'm not kidding. But if you don't believe me, I don't care.
Ah, poor Melody. You're so bitter that I stole your husband away from you. So now you're resorting to lies and pretending to be tough. I live with his parents, in a stunning mansion with a beautiful, expensive garden. Josh earns a hefty sum, and his father continues to rake in money from real estate investments, even after retiring from his previous job. I can live a life of luxury and fame for the rest of my days.
Sarah, haven't you had any doubts in the 6 months since you married him?
What?
It's none of my business now. But I think you should start planning for the future, because your glamorous lifestyle won't last forever.
Huh? What are you saying? They make a lot of money. I can live comfortably without any worries. There's no need for me to work.
Even if you are wealthy now, you never know what might happen, right? Don't always rely on your husband or your parents-in-law's financial resources. I think you should learn to stand on your own feet.
I don't get it. You're just jealous of my celebrity lifestyle, aren't you? Do you think I would fall for such empty threats?
Well, it's none of my business anymore, so I don't really care. But I did offer you some advice.
Okay. You really don't give up, do you? Living in a shared house can be tough. But you're just too pathetic to bother me with meaningless threats. If you have time to envy me, why don't you find a new guy to marry? Well, unlike me, you're plain looking. You're probably going to stay single for the rest of your life. I'm really lucky to be born a beautiful woman. You may be smart, but ugly women are destined to lose to beautiful women. After all, a woman's face is her life.
It's true that you're beautiful, but you shouldn't let your guard down. Looks can only take you so far, especially as you get older.
You're just a sore loser.
Well, whatever. I don't care what happens to you.
Enough already.
Well, I'm off to bed now. Let's wrap up this messaging.
Hey, Melody. What's going on? Our house has been taken over.
Huh? What do you mean it's been taken over?
When we got back from vacation, there were strangers living in our place.
Oh, right. You just got back. From your trip around Europe, right? How was it? Did you have fun?
That's not the point. What's going on? Josh's parents weren't there. The name on the front door has changed. What happened while we were away?
I don't know. Maybe you were jet-lagged and went to the wrong house?
I wouldn't mistake my own house for anything. What's going on? Why are strangers living there?
I have no idea. Josh is with you, right? Just ask him.
Of course I asked him first. But he said he doesn't know anything either. He seems to know something, but he just acts awkward and won't tell me.
Why are you asking me then?
I remember that you mentioned something that sounded like a warning. You know something, don't you? How did our house get taken over? Where did his parents go?
I don't know anything about that. Don't ask me. You can contact them, right?
Uh-huh.
I heard a rumor that they moved away. But I don't know anything more than that. Why don't you just ask them?
That's a good idea. I'll call his mother anyway. Hey, Melody. I just talked to her. I don't really understand it, but she says some circumstances forced them to leave the old house, and they've moved to a new place in the next town over. She gave me the address, so Josh and I are headed there now.
Oh, I see.
They've already sold their old house, and another family lives there now.
Oh, really? I suppose it was sold quickly after it went on the market.
Oh, I'm excited. A new house. What's it like? I bet they moved into an even bigger mansion than the old one.
Sarah, you're so laid back.
Huh?
Never mind. I'm glad you reached out to them.
Yeah, I'm relieved. Can you imagine finding strangers living in your place after vacation? I was so shocked. Maybe they wanted to surprise me, so they didn't tell me. Well, I'm off to the new house now. See you soon. It's the worst. What kind of a place is this?
What's wrong?
I came to the address she gave me. It was a tiny apartment, and it was so old that I couldn't even guess its age. The walls were crumbling. The stairs looked like they were about to collapse. What's going on, really? Why do we have to move from a mansion to a crappy apartment?
It sounds like the situation is worse than I imagined.
Huh? Do you know anything about this?
Ask Josh and his parents. I'm just an outsider.
Don't say that. Tell me. It's so mysterious. They all seem so gloomy, it's difficult to approach them.
I can imagine, but I can't casually disclose such private matters. I'm practically a stranger after the divorce, you know.
What on earth? I can't believe it. Josh is actually unemployed. Hey, don't you think that's awful? He quit his job a month ago and kept it a secret.
I knew it.
You knew it?
He's been embezzling from the company for years, right?
Huh?
He was doing a good job of hiding it, but he finally got caught and fired.
Melody, is that true? Josh was embezzling?
I wasn't certain, but during our marriage, I had my suspicions. He was working for a big company and was well paid, but he kept buying new cars, luxury watches, all the time. I thought he's spending too much money. I questioned him to see if he was hiding anything, but he insisted he hadn't done anything wrong. In the midst of all this, you stole him away. And we ended up divorcing without being able to resolve it.
What the?
A friend of mine from college works for the same company as him, so I asked her about it. Apparently, he was padding his expenses and overcharging. It's been a rumor among his coworkers for a while.
No way. Josh was well paid. He doesn't need to do that.
Human greed knows no bounds, huh?
That's terrible. I thought I could snatch your high-status husband away from you.
Our financial differences have been bothering me for a while. It's a relief I got divorced. But still, how could you go on an overseas trip in that situation?
I had no idea that Josh had been fired from his job, and he planned to complete the move while we were on vacation. It really pisses me off. I can't believe he decided to move without discussing it with me.
Well, if you had found out about the plan, you would have made a scene to hold on to that mansion.
Of course I would. I can't stand living in such a shabby apartment with only one bathroom. My father-in-law says it's better than being homeless. But 4 adults sleeping together in one room? There is no privacy.
Huh? Wasn't he making money from his investments?
His investments failed too. His savings dried up. To cover up his hefty debt, he had no choice but to sell the old mansion.
I suspected as much.
What? Hey, are you suggesting that you knew his investments would fail?
Because he was blindly buying properties just as the salesman advised him to. I was concerned if he knew what he was doing. He used up all his savings and all the money he received from his retirement.
I can't believe it.
Well, it can't be helped. You should be grateful that you have a place to live, at least.
You're joking. This place is unfit for human habitation. It's old, cramped, leaky. It's probably worse than your shared house.
As I've said many times before, I'm not living in a shared house.
Huh? But a friend of mine saw you going into one.
I stayed there for a short while until I found a new place to live after the divorce. I moved out right away.
Where?
To a penthouse, like I mentioned earlier.
I thought you were joking.
The rooms are enormous, and it has a fantastic view from the top floor. It's a wonderful place to live.
Hold on. How can you afford to live in a penthouse if you're poor?
Because I'm working.
I know you are working now, but you were a housewife while you were married to Josh, right?
No, I wasn't.
I don't believe you. You stayed at home almost all day long.
I was home, but I was working.
What?
I did a variety of work from home jobs. In fact, I made more money than Josh.
Seriously?
Otherwise, how could I afford to live in a house that costs $10,000? You assumed I became poor after I divorced Josh. Well, you were wrong. Now I can spend the money I earn only for myself. I feel richer than before.
No way. So you were totally fine with me taking your husband away from you?
Yup. You took in a no-good husband who got fired for his misconduct. I'm definitely grateful to you.
Then I'll move into your place.
Huh?
I don't want to live in this run-down apartment. Your place is spacious, right? Living alone must be lonely. I'll come live with you.
Are you kidding? What about your husband and in-laws?
I'll cut ties with them. I married Josh because he was an elite. I agreed to live with his parents because they had a big house. But now Josh has no job. They lost their mansion and now live in a run-down apartment. There's no reason for me to stay with them any longer.
I'm stunned. I guess money talks.
I have no use for poor people.
Who are you to say so? You don't make a penny yourself.
Hey, tell me the address of the penthouse you live in. I'm packing my bags and heading over there right now.
I won't tell you.
Why not?
I don't want to live with a woman who steals others' husbands.
Don't say that. We're sisters.
I'm sorry, but I don't consider you my sister.
I apologize for taking your husband away from you. But you were always fed up with him, weren't you? Besides, I'm sure it's more fun to live with someone than living alone.
I'm already living with someone.
Huh?
So I'm not lonely at all.
Living with someone? Who? A friend of yours you met at the shared house?
My fiancé.
What? You're getting married again?
Yeah. I met him through work and we hit it off. He proposed to me the other day.
No way! I thought you'd be single forever.
I'm sorry to break your expectation.
So, what does he do?
He owns a company.
You mean you'll marry into a rich family? You're just in it for the money, aren't you?
Don't assume I'm like you. It's just that the guy I fell in love with happened to be the president of a company. I wasn't after his fortune.
It's not fair.
Huh?
I went from being a celebrity to living in a crappy apartment. You live in a penthouse that rents for $10,000? Are you kidding me? You're ugly and you're cocky.
It's fine if you call me ugly. Now you understand. Beauty isn't always the deciding factor in a relationship.
What am I going to do now?
Why don't you tough it out with Josh?
I can't. Josh is unemployed. I don't have a job either. If possible, I'd like to rely on my parents. But they disowned me for stealing your husband. Hey, Melody, how am I supposed to live now?
Don't ask me. Think for yourself. Besides, I gave you good advice. Well, goodbye.
Hold on, Melody. Please, don't abandon me.
Sarah attempted to sneak out in the middle of the night to return to her parents' house. But Josh caught her and forcefully brought her back to that run-down apartment. Despite wanting a divorce, they wouldn't allow it. The family of 4 is now struggling in poverty within a cramped space. Both Josh and his father have lost all motivation to work. Sarah now toils from morning till night to support her family. The toil of hard work has robbed her of her former beauty and appearance, making her hardly recognizable. Meanwhile, I married my fiancé, and we are enjoying our honeymoon in the penthouse. Observing their current miserable lifestyle, I am immensely grateful that I divorced my ex-husband early on.
Hey, honey. Are you awake?
Yeah, I am. Is it lunchtime for you now?
Yeah, I just went on my break. The project I've been busy with is winding down. So, it looks like I can go back home for a bit next week.
Really?
Yes, really.
Yay! Oh, Kira will be happy too.
I'm sorry for making you feel lonely all the time.
Well, yeah, I feel a little lonely, but I married you because I love you for your passion and hard work. And it's so awesome that you're working abroad.
I don't care if it's awesome or not. I feel bad that I make you feel lonely.
You should be proud of what you're doing, Jack. Don't worry.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. You always help me by saying supportive things like this. Oh, by the way, Kira has her kindergarten play on the 7th, right? That's the day I fly in. If everything goes smoothly, I can go straight from the airport to the school to see her.
Wow, that'd be great. But I'm wondering, can you go without me?
Huh? Why?
Well, there's something I really need to do on that day. I was wondering what to do about that. I really hate to ask you to go alone, but my hands are tied.
Oh, really? Well, I don't mind going alone.
Thank you. I'll tell Kira later.
That's okay. By the way, I have some big news for you. You'll be really happy when you hear it.
Really? What is it?
It's still a secret. I'll tell you when I see you.
I wonder what it is. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm getting kind of nervous.
Why? We've been FaceTiming like every day. I'd understand if Kira hadn't been seeing your face or hearing your voice, but she has been.
But I haven't seen her in a really long time. I wonder if she forgot me.
That's impossible! She was all excited and said, "Daddy's coming!"
Really? I've just arrived at the kindergarten.
Okay, don't forget the parent meeting after.
I feel like I'm going to cry.
Huh? What's wrong?
I just walked by Kira, but she didn't notice me at all. I waved at her, though. She's talking to another dad now.
Oh, she just didn't notice you. Don't worry.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, it'll start soon, so I'll catch you later.
Got it. Thank you. Hey, Jack? I heard from one of my friends, but you didn't go to the parent meeting, did you? Why not?
Because I didn't need to go, right?
What? Of course you do! Did you ditch your daughter because she ignored you?
It doesn't have to be me who goes. It doesn't seem like she was my daughter anyway.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Well, I was pretty surprised too, but now I've settled down. I heard her scream, "Daddy!" after the play finished.
What?
She went straight to another guy without looking at me. I talked to him in the restroom because I thought it was weird. I told him, "Your daughter is lovely."
Huh?
He really talks a lot. He was really friendly after I complimented him on his nice watch. It's been 9 years since you started seeing him, right? That's even before you met me.
Wait. What are you talking about?
I'm talking to you about Kira's real father. Hector Hughes. 31 years old, address unlisted, unemployed, former model. He's certainly very good looking. I don't get why he has a Rolex when he's not working, though. Can you explain it to me?
Huh? Are you with Hecky now?
Hecky, huh? He's here. I left Kira with the teacher. I explained the situation, then she went pale, but she understood it. It's obvious to her that chaos will ensue.
No. Look, I'd like you to listen to me.
Yeah, I've been listening to you this whole time. I've been listening to you because I want answers. So, answer my question.
I dated Hecky in the past, but he had a fight with a key business partner, so he needed to quit his job. So, I thought I should support him.
I see. In short, he's manipulating you.
He's like a friend now. Isn't it normal to help your friends when they're in trouble? It's just that after I married you, I happened to get pregnant with his baby. But you're the only one I love, so I couldn't bring myself to tell you. Before I knew it, things turned out the way they have.
You happened to get pregnant with him? Do you even know how pregnancy works? You did it with that scumbag, so that's why you got a baby.
But, well, I mean, there's no love between me and Hecky. It's just like exercise for us.
Exercise? Well, that's disgusting. Hell no. What is wrong with you? You really are vile.
You don't have to go that far. We were getting along so well, so how can you be so mean to me?
Why are you acting like you're the victim here? Cut it out! What's your point? If Kira is that attached to him, he goes to the house often, doesn't he? I was giving you a lot of money, but I found it suspicious how quickly it was disappearing. He must have been spending it too.
I'm sorry. I feel bad for you. But think about Kira as well.
Are you serious? Look at what you're doing!
It's better for her to have a kind father figure around than for her to be missing you all the time.
Yeah, you're right. Her father should be with her.
And I told Kira not to call him Dad. She always calls him Hecky too, but why?
Isn't it obvious? Your other guy clearly makes her call him Dad in secret from you. Anyway, I don't care what she calls him. I'm not talking about that. No matter how many times she calls me Dad, I'm not her father. I'm just a stranger who gives you money. Oh, this is seriously giving me the creeps. What were you thinking?
I already said sorry like 100 times. Let me ask you, Jack. You were satisfied with your life before, weren't you?
Huh?
A family who's waiting for you, even if it's from a distance. A kind and understanding wife. You should lay off me a little because I played my part well. I don't know why Hecky went to the play, but you would never have noticed if you didn't see him.
He wanted to get attention from other moms. He said a handsome guy who shows up out of nowhere is bound to turn heads. It was his master plan.
What? What are you talking about?
He told me everything. He said his wife wasn't there, but his plan was a huge success. What a stud. Lol.
Let's just back up a bit. What do you look for in a partner, Jack? For me, it's a stable income and good genetics.
Good genetics?
Yeah. I don't want to say this, but you look pretty average, right? But your income is incredibly good. So I think it's normal for one person to make up for what another is lacking.
That's the most insane thing I've ever heard.
I'm saying that you need to think more flexibly. It's fine for Hecky to be the birthing father and you to be the raising father. But I think there needs to be something in it for you. So if you have something you want from me, tell me, and I'll make an effort. I think there are lots of ways to have a family. It all depends. In this day and age, people have relationships in all sorts of ways.
Wow. You don't get it at all. Do you think you can just cheat on me and rationalize it? Stop trying to justify it and just make it up to me. You're spitting nonsense to try and make it seem like cheating on me and taking my money wasn't that bad. I'm just being exploited. And I don't know why you're under the impression that we're still going to be together. I'll get the process started to divorce you by the end of tomorrow.
What?
Of course I will.
No way. Then what should we do about Kira? We're both not working.
Then work. Sorry, but I don't have any intention to keep feeding a psychopath, a former model leeching loser, and a child who isn't even mine. I will get my divorce and get you to pay for the money you've extorted from me.
I can't believe you. You're the worst.
Huh? I'm the bad guy here? Huh.
The second you learn Kira's not your real daughter, you're just going to abandon her? You're so selfish. Don't you feel a shred of attachment to her? We won't be able to afford to live if we have to pay you compensation.
Serves you right. And, rather than spending your time whining to me, maybe you should start to look for a job.
I hate that part about you, Jack. You think you're such a big shot because you're working abroad. But I can see the real you behind all that. With an attitude like that, you're sure to mess up your life big time one day.
Okay, if you say so. Say whatever you want.
I'm not paying you a dime. First of all, there's no proof of any of this. As long as Hecky denies everything, you don't have a shred of evidence. He wouldn't mess up like that. I bet you don't want to live a sad single life, so sleep on it, okay? A package just showed up from Thailand. There's a DVD inside. What is this, Jack?
Oh, that. I forgot that I sent it. It's no longer your business, so forget it.
But I watched it already.
What? Why would you open someone else's package?
Well, what was that house? It looked like a life-size dollhouse. Was that for real?
A property I found in Thailand not too far from where I'm posted. I have an estate agent friend over there, so he sold it to me at a great price. I was thinking of living there with you guys. But it was a waste, so I'll sell it.
Wait.
Why?
Don't sell it. Please.
Why not? I have no intention of living there with you anymore.
I've always dreamed of living in a house like this. Remember? We talked about wanting to live in a nice big house somewhere sunny like this before.
Yes. So?
I want to live with you.
Not a chance. What's wrong with your head?
I know what I'm saying might sound crazy, but I didn't know how much you were thinking of our family, Jack. I'm really sorry that I said those horrible things to you. Please, can we start over again?
It's probably impossible for you, Bonnie. You can't speak Thai for a start. I don't know what I was thinking.
I'll study. How hard could it be?
What are you going to do about that guy?
I'll break up with him. I've reconsidered. If I can start over with you, I'm prepared to leave behind my life here, Jack.
All right. Then can you come here, where I am?
Yes. Where are you right now?
Your parents' house.
Are you kidding?
They're furious, so you should come here soon. All that stuff you said about evidence? Your guy told me everything after I grilled him just a little. He's really pitiful. Was he really worth ruining your life over? Not that it's any of my business anymore, though.
Wait, I can't be with him. I want to be with you, Jack.
Oh, really? I want to be with anyone but you, Bonnie. You can't be so fixated on me. Think more flexibly. Yeah, what you asked me earlier about what I expect from a wife? Someone who isn't a leeching parasite. After that, Bonnie and the former model guy, who were living in luxury with my money, had their lives turned upside down. They ended up having to pay back all the money they ever took from me. In order to keep paying back, they started to work even weekends and holidays, always exhausted from work. I heard that they always swear and yell at each other, unlike the rosy relationship they had in the past. As for Kira, she was left at Bonnie's parents' house, living with her grandparents and avoiding her parents' quarrels. I live in Thailand alone, but it's a more comfortable life than I expected. Since I immersed myself in my work, I got promoted afterwards. I'm forgetting that incident little by little and trying to move forward.